This is Pete from Cheap Homesteading, and this is day 2 milling lumber with the beam machine. I looked at the video from yesterday. I think the chain was getting dull, and I'm gonna stop more often and sharpen my chain. I started to see that it started to jump and it was grabbing. Today I sharpened it up real good. So we're gonna mill the top portion of the same tree we were milling yesterday. So let's go. One thing you gotta do when it's sticking way up like that, I'm just gonna cut this little bump off, just to make it a lot flatter to screw it to. Okay, so I got a little bit shorter screws. We'll see if they work better. Well, they go in. So there you go, she's flat. We're ready to start milling some lumber. You have to make sure that you get the board on top flat, because then you have no idea what your 90 degree is. If it's off a bit, then you'll be cutting at all different angles. So take the time, make sure the top board is absolutely flat, because that's what the chainsaw runs off of. She's a little twisted, that one. Even though the trees look relatively straight, when you actually put a straight 2x4 on them, you see how crooked they are. And it's hard to set the 2x4 in such a way that you don't lose too much material, but on the other hand, that you can actually get a straight beam out of it. I think I can get a fairly straight beam out of this if I cut it like that. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, so that's not so bad. I didn't want to cut off anymore. I didn't want to waste the boards. I don't care if there's a little bit of live edge. I'll try to put it to the inside. But that that did a pretty good job. This side here is not my greatest work for sure. I don't know what happened, but I headed over to the pasture. I'm going to try to mill up some cedar. Cedar itself is a way softer wood, so I'm assuming it's going to be a whole lot easier to put the boards down, get the screws out, and mill the lumber. I think it'll go a lot quicker. There you go. We got a nice cedar log that's been dry for a good while. We're just going to knock some of these, we're going to knock some of the knots off and start milling. This is a little more like it. Cedar is a lot easier to cut than ash for sure. So even though I have smaller logs and I'm gonna have to make more cuts, I mean, I cut that in a very short period of time. So we'll cut the other side up. That went really good, really quick, and it looks really straight. I think the saw cuts the cedar so much quicker that you have less chance to go off center with the saw. So I think I'm going to try to cut a few boards out of this one. That went super well. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to keep moving the guide board out and just keep cutting the slots. Then finish the cuts at the end of the beam, and then I should be good to go. This is 1.5 inches here. If I move this over another 1.5 inches, it should be good. So if I go to the center of the groove, that's 1.5 inches. Center of the groove, 1.5 inches. If I go 1.5 inches from here, if I go 1.5 inches from here and screw it down, inch and a half. think what I'm going to do is make a jig. Once it's bolted on, it has preset spaces, so you can cut inch boards, 2-inch. Because this isn't bad, but it'd be nice to, if you didn't have to do measurements and have a chance of messing it up. I always mess up measurements. Okay, so I'm going to mark this. There you go, there's the first inch boards I ever cut. I could probably run the planer down one side. That's actually pretty good, this one. Gonna set that there for now. We'll go get another log. It is definitely encouraging being able to make your own boards. I mean, they're not pretty, but that is the first set of boards I made. So hopefully, as I make them, as I keep making them, that'll get better and better. So there you go. This is about the end of the day. It's about 3 o'clock. I got to go back in. I got stuff to do. But I wanted to show you, the beam machine's actually working pretty good, and with me practicing a little bit more, it'll probably even get a lot better. So I'm going to show you what I cut. So I was able to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards. That might not seem like very much, but that was pretty good. I cut that in about an hour and a half, and that's me, you know, setting up, getting ready to go. So I bet if I come out here tomorrow, I'll be able to cut a lot of boards, because I have a lot of cedar already down. When cedar is dry, it cuts really, really nice. Super happy how my chainsaw was running, and the beam machine was just working absolutely great. So practice a little more, I could see that it actually could be very consistent making lumber with it. I'm going to keep running the beam machine for a little while. Hopefully I get to the point where it's really, really reliable. But I'm not quite there yet. But that's what planers are for, so I'm going to take these back and plane them. I just couldn't wait. I ran a board through the planer just to see what it would look like, and man, they look absolutely awesome. I'll show you. But look at this. That is an absolute beautiful cedar board. They're gonna make great raised beds. My first boards, I made them a little too thin for my liking. I'm gonna try to cut them so when they're plain, they're exactly 1 inch. But there is nothing wrong with that. That is absolutely beautiful. Tomorrow I'm going to try to get out and cut some more. I think now that I know what I'm looking for and kind of starting to know what I'm doing, it should go a lot faster. So hopefully I'll get it all done and we can start planing it and getting it ready and start making our raised bed. Before you know it, we'll have to start planting. So I need to get this done for sure. So that's about enough for today, and you guys have a good one.